So I have something that I want to talk about today that unfortunately I don't think is going to make a lot of people very happy. And it has to do with privacy signs, do not disturb signs on hotel room doors. They don't guarantee you complete privacy. Hotel staff can and will still enter your room, regardless of whether or not you put that little piece of plastic on the door handle. Sorry. I can hear the outrage already starting in the comments. I paid for that room. That's my room. If I say that no one can enter it, then no one can enter it. Exactly. If someone... Yeah, exactly. If someone tries to come into my room after I put the do not disturb sign on the door, I'm gonna call their manager and get them fired. Yeah, no, not quite. So hotels have always reserved the right to enter a guest's room regardless of whether or not there is a do not disturb sign on the door. Now, traditionally, hotels have promised that they will only enter a room if there is a hotel emergency or a maintenance issue. But recently, there has been a change in a lot of hotels' policies. That change has been the implementation of daily wellness checks. I actually got the idea to talk about this because someone messaged me online saying that a hotel that they had stayed at for a very long time had recently implemented this change to their policy regarding do not disturb signs. And the change was the inclusion of daily wellness checks where someone comes to the room, opens the door, does a visual inspection, and then leaves. Now, this made this person understandably very uncomfortable because why was some random hotel person coming to their room and looking around? Now, most hotels tell their guests that it is a wellness check to ensure that everyone in the room is okay, that there has been no medical emergency. But this is really just the tip of the iceberg of reasons as to why hotels perform these wellness checks. Now, I think that is the best thing for the hotel to tell their guests because I once had this poor, sweet, older couple come up to me at a hotel and say, "What, miss, some security guard just came to our room and said that he was checking because he thought we had inside of it. My husband and I would never. Why would he think that we brought those things to the room?" And I then had the very fun task of assuring this woman that we did not believe that she and her husband had brought pew pew no-nos to the room, that we were conducting a general safety check for a list of reasons, that being one of them, but that we weren't targeting her and her husband, but that we did this to every single room at the hotel every single day. So to calm her and her husband down, I went over all of the reasons these visual safety checks are performed. Number one, to actually guarantee that everyone in the room is alive and well. We want to make sure that no one has had any medical emergencies. Number two, hotels perform these checks to visually inspect for any. Number three, for any. Number four, for any signs of human. Because here's the thing, at the end of the day, hotels genuinely have no way of knowing the real motivations of why someone has come to stay at their property. 9 times out of 10, yeah, sure, guests are probably staying in a hotel for completely innocent reasons, to see some family, to go on vacation, to have a business meeting, whatever, but it only takes that one. A lot of these safety changes came as a reaction to what happened in Las Vegas. That happened in 2017. And frankly, I'm surprised that the hospitality industry as a whole hasn't implemented these daily wellness checks, because I know that there are still a lot of hotels who do not do them. The person who messaged me online said that this was a more recent change in policy at the hotel that she usually stays at. And when I started working for the Walt Disney World Company at their resorts in 2021, I believe it was a more recent implementation for them as well. But please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on that point, because I never actually stayed in a Disney resort hotel prior to when I started working for them, because I always lived so close to the parks that it just never really justified staying at the resorts. But to bring it back around, though I understand that these daily wellness checks can be perceived as a complete breach of privacy and unnecessary to some, it is necessary because of the world we live in. Hotel staff everywhere, even at the most magical place on earth, are usually trained to look out for the signs of illegal activity at hotels and in hotel rooms. You would imagine that illegal activity could only ever take place at those shady little creepy run-down motels on the side of the highway that just look like a walking infestation. But no, even the highest echelon of hotels can be targeted, and they are precisely for the reason that people perceive them as the kind of hotels where shady business just doesn't happen. A great example of this actually comes from one of my ex-managers who used to be a bellhop at a very stuffy, and I mean stuffy, hotel. He was called to a room to help bring some bags out of it, and when he walked in, he was like, this looks a little weird. And he went to his manager and he said, yeah, no, they had the windows all boarded up and they put tinfoil on it. And he described all of these really weird objects that he saw on the tables and in the bathrooms. And his manager's eyes got so wide and he immediately called the police because someone was cooking up zippy no-nos in this extremely high-end hotel. And though my manager had recognized that something looked off about what was happening in that room, he had no clue that it was zippy no-no cooking because he had not been educated on what that looked like because, and this was back in like the 90s, the hotel had never even considered that they would be targeted as a place where people would try to conduct this kind of illegal activity. So that is a good reason why these safety checks are being implemented at more and more hotels. But again, I understand that the vast majority of us who go to stay at a hotel are not trying to do illegal things in the room, and we're of healthy mind and body where no one needs to come and make sure that we're still living and breathing in the room. So why can't we just opt out of this? Why can't we just say, hey, we're good people, you don't have to come check our room, stop conducting these daily checks on us? Well, sorry to say it, but hotels just don't have the luxury of taking your word for it. We don't know you. And unless you want to walk into a hotel and have your entire person and all your bags scanned like you're going through airport TSA, they just have no way of knowing what you are bringing into their rooms. And at the end of the day, you are renting a room on their property that they own, and anything that happens on that property, they can be liable for. So it is in hotels' best interest to guarantee the safety of not only their guests, but of their ability to operate, that they ensure that what is happening within their rooms is legal and safe. I do encourage you to always put your valuables either in the safe or at least out of sight if you are leaving the room for the day. I also encourage you to always have the safety latch on when you're in the room. If you are ever uncomfortable about whoever is trying to enter your room, call the front desk to verify their identity. And finally, if you are wanting to have a certain time that the safety check is performed so you're not disturbed in your room, like let's say your kids are trying to nap and you don't want someone to come knock and look in the room, call the front desk, ask if they've already performed the safety check, or try to coordinate with them on a time that works best for you. I hope I have clarified some things for you on this topic. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or stories of your own, please feel free to comment them down below. I plan to make my next Hotel Worker Explains video about conventions and a little bit more lighthearted in that way, so look forward to that. I'm Jessica Vanell. I have a degree in hospitality management. I've worked in hotels for 7+ years, and I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. Stay safe out there. Have a great day. Bye!